The opening bell has rung on Wall Street on the first full day of trading after the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank. At the open, the Dow is down more than 200 points. The NASDAQ down 70, and the S&P 500 opens off at 65 points. NewsNation business contributor Lydia Moynihan joins me now. Lydia, always good to see you. What's the fallout in this wake of Silicon Valley Bank's collapse?
So Biden actually addressed it this morning, and he assured Americans that despite a nail-biting weekend, deposits will be safe, that banks are safe. But this all comes after really a traumatic weekend. So just walking through what happened. Thursday, there was a bank run on Silicon Valley Bank, which is the nation's 16th largest bank. On Friday, the FDIC, which regulates banks, stepped in and actually shut it down because they just didn't have enough money to pass along to everyone. So everyone was wondering over the weekend, what is going to happen with this bank? There's a lot of concerns that, if regulators don't step in, if they don't essentially bail out depositors, anyone who had more than $250,000 in their bank account would lose any of that extra money. So just a lot of uncertainty. I want to note, obviously, it was a Silicon Valley bank, but there were a lot of startups. There's a lot of people who need to get paid by these companies. And so really wide-reaching ramifications for who all was affected by this. Companies worried they wouldn't be getting paid. So a lot of uncertainty. And then on Sunday, Signature Bank, a New York bank, failed as well. And then shortly thereafter, regulators, the Treasury, FDIC, announced that they would be stepping in. And I think this is important to note. They are bailing out depositors. So anyone who had a deposit in Silicon Valley Bank or Signature Bank will be safe. They will get all of their money.
Yeah, I think we all heard that collective big sigh of relief this morning, and also last night with that joint statement from the FDIC and the Federal Reserve. Lydia, I have one soundbite from President Biden just moments ago. If we could play it and then get your take on the other side.
The banking system is safe. Your deposits will be there when you need them. Small businesses across the country, the deposit accounts at these banks can breathe easier knowing they'll be able to pay their workers and pay their bills. And their hardworking employees can breathe easier as well.
Yeah, I think a lot of Americans glad to have some of those reassurances this morning. But Lydia, how can people know if their bank may be at risk of receivership?
Well, over the weekend, there were a lot of fears. I was getting calls from people asking, should I move money? And we noticed that a lot of regional banks, First Republic, for instance, their stock was down about 60%. Pre-market trading, just fear that some of these smaller banks weren't going to be well capitalized enough should there be a run on the bank. Lots of footage at various retail banks of people lining up around the corner to try and get money out. But I think this morning and last night, both the statement that you mentioned and Biden's comments are certainly reassuring that depositors will be made whole. And that's really the message that I think everyone wanted to hear. If you have money in a bank account, it's going to be safe. And so hopefully that quells a lot of the fears that people have and just nips it in the bud, all the sort of fear and uncertainty that we've had over the past few days.
Yeah, Americans want to know that their money is safe and that their banks are fortified. Lydia Moynihan, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.